Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather. I am a styling, skincare, hair care, self-care enthusiast. I don't have any training in anything. I just have people ask me questions about things sometimes, so I decided to make a YouTube channel to share my thoughts and what I know. So today what I wanted to talk to you about is my experience with like hair changes as I get older here. So I guess there's some hair loss included in there and some things I'm doing, to supplement my hair health. So the first thing is that, I don't know, maybe a year ago, I noticed what I thought was some thinning hair. And honestly, like, I have a lot of hair, and this is actually a really good hair day. I'm not sure why my hair day is quite this good today, but I'll take it. And so what happened is I started to notice that in the middle of my hair here, like you can like see in my scalp, right? And so if I push it down like this, it's not so bad, but you can really like see in there. It's also better because of the supplements I've been taking, which I'm going to get into in a minute. I never, ever part my hair in the middle, but for some reason, like my hair was parted in the middle and my part just looked really wide. And I was like, well, I didn't like this. I really didn't like that when I put my hair up, you could see in my hair here. You could almost, like I would put my finger here to be like, oh, can I see my finger all the way back here? Can I see the shadow? And so it's gotten a lot better where you can't really see it anymore. But I was very concerned about it at the time. So it's like, okay, well, what do we do about this? So I did go to my GP just for my regular yearly appointment, and she did some blood tests, and there's nothing sort of preliminarily to state that there's anything wrong with my hair or my hair production. I thought it might be something sort of age related, but I also wasn't exactly sure if this is the way my hair has always been. And I'm going to give you a reason as to why I think that might be. So you might notice when like my hair is just kind of doing its own thing, okay, well of course it's not doing it now, but basically what happens is this front, I don't know, inch or two of my hair, it always tends to separate out, right? It does that really easily. And the reason for that is because for most of my life, I had bangs of some kind. So it was either straight across bangs or it was a side bang that ended like here. So what would happen is this whole front section would be, down all the time. And then I would have this, line of demarcation here. So I couldn't really see if anything was thinning right here because I had the bangs all the time. I don't know why, I was really self-conscious about my forehead. And so just in the past 3, 4, 5 years, I've grown my bangs out and now my hair is pretty much like this. So I like the layers to kind of go out, but I don't need those real bangs anymore. So I never really noticed like what my forehead right here looked like because it was always down and to the front in some way like this. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna look at some pictures of myself when I was younger. And so this one picture stuck out to me, so I'm gonna show it to you. So this is me when I was little, right? I had blonde. I have had every hair color without doing anything to my hair. Okay, well I helped this out a little bit, but my hair got a lot redder as I got older. That's a whole other story. But anyway, so look at my bangs and look at my forehead right there. Like that looks pretty much the same to what I have now. This like sparseness here, the way the coarseness is. So I'm like, well, maybe this is just the way my hair is. So that's a thought, but it's not my favorite thought, like I kind of want to do something to change it if I can. Hair loss in women is caused by, well, hair loss in everybody really, is caused by 3 things most commonly. If you hear a jingle, that's the kitten. He's brought over his jingle mouse because he wants me to throw it because he wants to play fetch. Anyway, 3 causes that I've read about online, and this is just like, I'm not a medical professional, this is just some preliminary reading that I'm doing on the situation. So one thing is it's just genetic. Like as you get older, you start to lose your hair. This especially happens with men. I always thought it was because of an excess of testosterone, but then I was reading online, some people say it's an excess, some people say it's a lack of testosterone. I'm like, which is it? I don't know. But they start to lose their hair. And what usually for men, what happens is they start to lose their hairline. It starts to go further back and they'll start to lose it on the side. So that's the most common hair loss patterns for men. For women, the most common hair loss pattern is the part, which was what was sort of happening to me, where the part looks like it's getting wider and wider and wider. I have seen some more women online as well that actually this patch right here, just like what I'm self-conscious about, that also gets a little bit sparse for them too. So the thing that I think that I have that I might not actually have, that's apparently a lot of women have that too, like they actually have it. So there's genetics, right? There is some conditions like alopecia. Apparently alopecia is like There's traction alopecia. There's like a bunch of different types of alopecia. But I had a friend in high school who had alopecia because like her hair would just, it was like she was on chemotherapy. Her hair would just like fall out in clumps. It took a while for her to get it under control. She did eventually, but it was very stressful for her for a while. Stress, that's another reason that hair falls out, is because in stressful events, it can just, there's something about the signals that are sent to your hair follicles and they just like fall out. There's a thing also with pregnancy. So apparently when you're pregnant, what happens is your body stops sending the signals to sort of get rid of those particular cells. So the hair that you would normally lose, it's not lost. So a couple months into pregnancy, your hair is like super thick and shiny and stuff because for some reason, I don't forget the exact reason. I don't know if it's focusing on growing the baby or what, but your hair stops falling out. Therefore, it gets a lot thicker. You don't lose as many hair shafts as you did before. So once you have the child and the hormones kind of stabilize, you lose all that hair kind of at once. It hasn't been lost over time. So that's apparently what happens for most people when they have a child and they're like, oh my God, I'm losing my hair. It's like, this is all the hair that you should have lost over the past 10 months. Then there's also a thing called, that I mentioned earlier, I didn't actually say what it was, is traction alopecia. So traction alopecia is like, if you're Ariana Grande and you're keeping your hair straight back like this all the time, the stress that you're putting on your scalp to pull this back, that's gonna make these hair follicles not wanna grow in. You're just like pulling and pulling and pulling all the time. So that's also a thing that can happen. I've seen this a lot with like older women. You'll see sometimes like their hair's up and it's really sparse right here, and I'm like, why? It's because of the traction alopecia. They've just had their hair up like all the time their whole lives. So there's a bunch of things that I've been doing to sort of combat this. So first of all, when I just pull my hair back like this, and you can kind of see in my scalp here, apparently this is a thing where like everybody uses makeup, like celebrities and stuff. If their hair's like this, they're going to use makeup to cover this, so you're not going to be able to see this sparsity in the front of their hair. Sort of sidebar, when you're looking at somebody, I always try to figure out if somebody's wearing a wig. That's just like a thing that I think is interesting. If the hairline is too perfect and you can't see at least some of these little like spots here that don't have hair or like are a little more sparse, that's how you can tell it's a wig, if it's way too perfect at the hairline. So fun fact there. So everybody has makeup to kind of cover that up. If you look at a celebrity, you're like, you know, my video got you thinking or something, and you're like, man, this celebrity has a really great hairline. No, they're using makeup. They could have even gotten surgery for it. You can get like hair transplant surgery. I know somebody that got that surgery. It looks very natural. It grows out of their scalp. They get like normal haircuts just like everybody else. It's just they transplant the follicles from the back to the front, or you know, wherever you're losing your hair. So I do actually have, I forgot to pull this out of my, I don't even know where it is, but I have like a red powder that's meant to go in your hair. So if I'm having a really self-conscious day, or maybe if my less ginger roots are growing in a little faster than I want them to, I will use that powder and I'll actually kind of touch it up. But I mean, when I don't have the face, honestly, to just like just pull this hair back here. Like I'm not confident enough in my face to just do that. So most of the time, if my hair is up, I'm gonna do like a twisty, and I'm gonna kind of fluff it like that. So it frames my face a lot better. I don't have to worry about that straight back hairstyle, because I usually try to have like this, I don't pull this back super severely. So some other things that I'm doing that are pretty cost effective that you can do. So one thing is Biotin. So this is the Biotin that I have. It's Nature's Bounty brand. I don't have any affiliation to the brand. It's a little tiny pill, right? It's white. Biotin apparently is water soluble, and you get biotin from a lot of different types of fatty foods like eggs and stuff. There's been a little bit of research to say that biotin helps with hair and skin and nails. There's some research that says it helps with diabetics with blood sugar. There's some research that says it's helpful for like prenatal development type things. But the hair and skin thing specifically, apparently there's not a lot of research on that, and everybody's just been like, my GP said to take it, my mom said to take it, like a bunch, like that's the first thing people are like, oh, take some biotin. But there's not a lot of research that says what it does exactly. It's supposed to help with keratin, so your nails, your skin, your hair, a lot of that is, the proteins are keratin. And so it's meant to help with like keratin production or stability or retention or something. Like people are really unclear. By the way, there are tons of biotin supplements on like Instagram. You can get like gummies with the, no, don't get the gummies. Don't get that malarkey, okay? This is $7. if you order it in a 2-pack, I think it's like $12 for a 2-pack. There's 120 capsules in here. Like, you don't need something super duper expensive, okay? I do notice that, like, when I first started taking the Biotin, it helped with my shedding. I don't know what the deal is, but in the past 5 years, I've noticed my shedding so much because I've actually thought of like shaving my head. I don't think I ever actually will because I really like my hair. But I've thought about it because I just shed. I find my hair everywhere and it drives me insane. Like I can't brush it when it's wavy because then it'll just be like a big puffball. But like I brush it before I wash it, probably 200 strands fall out. Then I wash it, another 200 fall out. And then over the course of the day that I wash it, probably another 200 fall out. I'm like, I'm not gonna have any hair left on my head. But I do have, I mean, the hair that I have, I'm very lucky to have this. Like, this is my natural texture. Again, I don't know why it looks quite this good today. I used, what did I use? I used the Oribe dry texturizing spray when it was wet, because I washed it this morning, dry texturizing spray. And then I used a, I forget what it's called, but it's an air dry cream. I think it's called like Wow. I got it on Amazon. I never liked that cream, and yet today, my hair looks really good, and it's not crunchy, and that cream usually makes it crunchy. So I don't know. I think my hair just has a mind of its own. Honestly, I don't know. This haircut does a lot of the work. If you get a good haircut, that's going to do a lot of the work for you. But I have my father's exact hair texture. It's just, he's like, I've seen pictures of him when he was younger. He had long hair. I have his hair, so I'm very, very lucky for the hair that I have. But yeah, so apparently the Biotin is going to help you with that. It helped with my shedding for a while. I don't think it's the shedding's kind of going back to where it was. So there's that. Another thing that you can get is a Biotin shampoo. So this shampoo is recommended in a bunch of BuzzFeed lists. It's a nice smelling shampoo. It's very like minty, tea tree kind of thing. And so what they want you to do is they want you to wash your hair, but like leave the suds on your scalp, because the Biotin's supposed to be working with the actual hair follicles and doing whatever it does to help there. So tea tree is also supposed to be really good for your scalp. So I'm usually pretty picky about my hair products in the shower because my hair's so coarse and so thick. So I need certain products so that my hair doesn't dry out. This doesn't dry my hair. It's not like the worst shampoo in the world. It's not like, I don't even know. But it's not like the best either, but I can certainly deal with it and still have my hair be the way I want it to be. So this is pretty good. I think this was like $15, $16, $17, something like that. I did write a review for them. And I wrote the review that I would have written anyway for the product, and they sent me 2 free bottles of shampoo. So that was really nice. So I have 1 in my shower, and I still have 2 that are sort of ready to go. And then 2 other things that I do every day. So one thing I do every day is I put this stuff, the Ordinary, just on this one spot on my scalp. And so this is it just looks like water. Like, honestly, they could be selling expensive water. I don't know. But the Ordinary products, their whole shtick is like, they want to create products that are affordable for people, that are really high quality, and like, we don't care about the packaging. They almost all come in these like tincture jars. The Ordinary is kind of hit and miss for me. One of their exfoliants I really like, but like some of their moisturizers, I'm like, some of their topical face items, I'm like, meh. Their niacinamide's really good, especially if you're kind of acne prone. So what I do with this is I don't even get that much. I get like, okay, well that's too little. Hang on. I don't want that much. Okay, there's a lot of bubbles. So I get a little bit like this, right? And then I push my hair back like this. And I kind of do this zigzaggy thing. And I do this at night before I go to sleep. It is nighttime, it's not sleepy time, but that's okay, I can do it now. So I do it at night before I go to sleep. You're supposed to do this once in the evening. You don't wash it out, and it's supposed to be on dry hair. I've done it on wet hair, whatever. I haven't like caught fire or anything. I do think this has made a difference. I think it's, so it's called multi-peptide serum for hair density. I do think my hair right here is a little bit more dense than it was when I first started this whole thing back in like January. And so another sort of tangent on hair situations is there's a lot of products out there to help grow your eyebrows or grow your eyelashes. I don't use one for my eyebrows. I think they're finally kind of where and how I want them to be, more or less. When I was younger, I had very thick eyebrows. I got them done too thin once for prom in high school, and they never grew back the same way, and it really bothers me. But if I use, I dye them with the Goat-Free hair dye, and then I have an eyebrow mascara. I just read in my Allure magazine yesterday, or maybe the day before, a tip for eyebrow mascaras where you brush it, or you can do it for mascara, regular mascara too. You brush it down first to coat the top of your eyebrow hairs, and then you brush it up. And I did that this morning, and I think it looks nice. I really like the shape of my eyebrows in general. I think they suit me. I think they're the right thickness at this point. So I'm not like going crazy with the hair growth things on my eyebrows. By the way, your eyebrows should be sisters, not twins. So don't try to get them to be like too similar, because it's not gonna work. But I love long eyelashes just like everybody else does. Or most people do, I guess. And I'm lucky I have pretty long eyelashes sort of anyway. I've always had a lot of bottom eyelashes. I have no products on my eyelashes at all right now. So I've always had these bottom ones quite a bit. And my top ones have always been pretty long too. But they haven't been quite this long because I've been using eyelash growth serums. So I have a couple of these. This one's old. I can't tell if these first two worked. So this one is probably a couple years old at this point. And this one is newer. And basically the way these things work is you just brush this on the top of your eyelid like this, sort of like it's liquid eyeliner. And it's supposed to nourish your eyelashes. It takes about 3 months to really see results, because I think what it's supposed to do is sort of foster your eyelashes staying actually on your lids. So, you know, your eyelashes would continue to grow if they actually stayed on your eyelid, but of course we shed our eyelashes just like our regular hair. So that's what this is encouraging your body to do. So the reason I didn't put that one on right now is because I got this one. So this apparently is like the holy grail of eyelash growth serums. People really love this. I think I'm about a month into using this. So this is Grandy Lash MD. Something like Latisse. I would have gotten Latisse a long time ago, but Latisse is supposed to, well, not supposed to. There's a possibility Latisse will change the color of your eyes, and I really like the color of my eyes. They're green. Green is not very common, and I really did not want to change them, so I didn't get the Latisse. This is available over the counter. This is a 6-month supply, I think, and it's $65, which I know is a lot. But I mean, it's something that you're going to put on every day, such a little bit. And if it gets the results that they keep saying that you're going to get, then I think that's great. So you just kind of do this. They say that one sort of dunk into the eyelash bottle thingy is enough for both eyes, and you just do that, and that's it. So I do those two things every night. I really do think they both have made a difference. So, you know, my experience with hair changes and hair loss is not severe, and granted, I'm only in my mid-30s, so things might happen later. My mom has a good amount of hair. My dad has, he does have some nail pattern baldness. But, you know, I don't know. I'm hoping nothing else happens, but I guess we'll see. I just wanted to share my experience to say, like, this is a totally normal thing that happens to most people. They just start losing hair density, just like everybody starts getting wrinkles, and everybody starts, you know, their metabolism slows down. Like, all these things are just about people being people, and nobody wants to admit to it. So I just figured I would make a video to kind of show you, like, hey, it happens. Like, even if it doesn't happen too severely, like that it's still probably going to happen, and you might notice it, and here's some stuff that you can do. So that was my thought in making this video. So if anybody has any questions about anything, please feel free to put them down in the question box below. And other than that, I hope you have a super awesome rest of your day. Thanks so much. Bye.